The path that leads to the truth is littered with the bodies of the ignorant. Miyamoto Musashi. Truer words could not have been spoken about people investing. If they do not invest themselves in the path and do the work, they are so many times going to get hammered. They're gambling. And gamblers always lose to the house. So what do? 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. Let's jump into these charts. Everything is down. I'm coming to you from the mountains in Tuscany, well, the hills. And it is almost 10 o'clock here. Got about a minute away. Market's just closed. Let's talk about where we are. Look at the S&P, my friends. As we look at this week, we can see on the weekly chart that we have a little green spinning top. We're not reaching the high of last week. Now, that could change over the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday. But right now, down 0.92%. We can see on the 2-day chart, the first day of this latest 2-day candle, it'll finish drawing tomorrow. You can see where the wick pierced the weekly trend line. Same on the 2-day, down in the morning. Further down in the afternoon, like I said, down 0.92%. We don't have a lot of volume to confirm a rotation over, though. Check it out. Unless we have lots of crashing in the next 2 days, I don't think volume's going to get there. And for us to jump into a down move, particularly in this market before the election, we've got to have a hammer down. And that's not happening. Look at the Qs. Now, again, the Qs is... Well, this is interesting. I don't know why it puts this here every day. We can see, though, where we are. Again, weak on volume. 2-day may hit average volume, but you can see the wick on that has pierced. We have nice volume in the morning. And then, of course, we did pierce, the candle pierced the weekly trend line on the smallest chart, which means the least. But again, important. The 2-day chart, one more day, sitting right there on it. So we will pay attention. If we do see lots of down movement and we get up to average and a red spinning top on either the S&P or the NASDAQ 100, I am shorting. But I don't know that it's going to happen. So you might consider that in a practice trade. We're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. We want you to practice with us. You know we are in this down trade that just keeps going down, 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 down. TBF is the inverse of TLT, 20-year U.S. government bonds. And, of course, if we put that in, Tango, Bravo, Foxtrot, it is the ProShares single short, and it just keeps going up, up, up. It has been a nice trade so far, but, of course, the trend is your friend until it bends. And at some point, it always bends, so keep an eye on it. But for the day, it was up 0.25%, while 20-year U.S. government bonds was down 0.25%. We encourage you to practice trade inverse funds. They are complicated. They're revalued every day. They use derivatives to make them match the percentage change in the underlying asset for government bond. For this one, it's government bonds. They can magnify your losses. So you just need, and they also have lots of expenses. So you just need to pay attention, practice, trade them, see how it works. And the good news is TLT is cheap. You can buy 4 shares for like $100. Then if you lose 20%, you've only lost $20. So please don't be a fool. Don't use big money ever. When you start getting good and you want to actually use some money, do what we call fractional trading. In fact, I'm going to put that training at the end of today's video for all the subscribers. We have a nice chapter from the book for you in the show notes. Please check it out. Okay, let's go to gold. Gold down for the day, 1.20%. You can see, though, gold has been rocketing up this week. We saw, though, over the last day, gold pulling back down 1.20% down in the morning, and not quite as low in the afternoon. We really had a range down there. But again, we are decently above the weekly trend line on all 3 charts, the half-day, 2-day, and the weekly. So gold has just been rocketing up. Today, not as beautiful as it was yesterday. not as shiny. Now, lastly, we will look at Bitcoin. We see Bitcoin for 1, 2, 3 days has been going down. And again, we haven't hit the high of last week on the weekly. Look at all the volume, though, on Bitcoin. Again, already at average, it appears. But we haven't hit the high of last week yet. We look at where we are. We have, and again, not a wick on top. We have a little red down candle there. I tell you guys, the dash here on the line, it can fool you and make you think you have longer wicks or wicks when you don't. So always look at the candle and then move it to the side. So we see down in the morning, further down in the afternoon, average volume in the afternoon, almost average volume first day of the 2-day candle. So again, pay attention to Bitcoin as it is pulling back since Monday. That is where we are, folks. Thank you so much for being with me. A little bit under the weather. I'm having a hard time today, but again, top priority is always to get this information out to you. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth.